Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the second season of Tell Me Dad. In this season, we will be asking my dad all questions that we have about life. These can be questions about career, personal development, or relationships, or whatever we can think of. So if you're interested in what my dad has to share this time, then stay tuned. Hey, Dad.
Hey, son, how are you?
I'm good. How about you?
Well, not bad, not bad. Your mom keeps me busy.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Well, I tell you. So, this podcast is more like a break for me.
Yeah. That's the most relaxing
Oh,
part of the day.
yeah, it's true. Tell me, what question did you think of this time?
Well, the question I have for you today is more about, I guess, life philosophy, if you want to put it that way. Um, the question I have is, what is the biggest myth about growing older? Or what's the biggest lie about growing older that now
The
you know
biggest
about?
lie.
Yeah.
The biggest
What do people
lie.
think about growing older? That's not true at all.
Well, Well, good question. Well,
Yeah.
but it always makes me think. I mean, it's
Yeah.
not like that I have just to open a drawer and I take out the answer.
Oh,
So
for
it's
sure.
it's
So do some thinking. Think out aloud.
well, I mean, basically when you are very young, you
Yeah.
want to get older, yeah? Because as a young kid, you feel like, well, people don't take you serious and they always tell you what to do and so on. And then there is this famous golden age, between 30 and 50.
Hmm.
And I mean, you are actually at that age, you are really on the top, because I mean, if you are healthy, that's very important. I mean, we're gonna pretend now that. We always be healthy.
Yeah.
So it's not a point that's going to influence the age now.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, and when you are older, you actually start thinking uh, about the age, and your behavior changes a little bit. You put well, different priorities to things. When well, I must say, I always was the youngest. When I got into school, like junior high school, um, I was the youngest kid in the classroom.
Yeah.
When I started my apprenticeship, I was the youngest one. 17 and a half year, I finished my apprenticeship. All my other buddies, they were like 18, 19, 20. And when I joined university, I was like 22,
Yeah.
also kind of young. Well, it's Germany.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not United States,
Yeah.
um, or Ireland. I was 22. I must tell you that um, between my apprenticeship and my university education, there was a time where I had to make some money because I got married at a very young age, and
Yeah.
you had to see how to pay for the furniture for your first car and for this and that and what have you. So anyway, but I still was kind of the youngest kid on the block. Um, and this is something that was uh, uh, was going through my whole life. At the company I was working for at that time, this big machine tool company, I was the youngest sales manager they ever had. I
Yeah.
was 30 years old, and I became sales manager. All my team, I mean, they were in the mid 30s or early 40s, and it was not that easy. know. But then at about 40, I became the managing director of a plant with about 300 people, which also was not that easy because, well, again, Germany,
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
other countries, they take it for granted. But in Germany, it's you have to have a certain age, at least at that time, you have to have a certain age um, to make people taking you serious. But anyway, personally, uh, when I was a kid, yes, I wanted to become older, um, to be able to make a driver license
Yeah.
or
I
to buy
think
a
we've all been
car.
there. Yeah.
Well, we all
Yeah.
yeah, quite. I mean, you have been through that as well. I still remember that. But then, of course, at, even as a young fellow, I was not really the kind of person that was waiting for someone to tell you what to do. So I wanted to take responsibility always. I wanted to be kind of a leader, and not really the kind of guy in front of a drawing board and
Yeah.
boss comes in every morning and tells you what kind of lines you have to draw. So this is just not my um, the way I was thinking. It's not my character. So anyway, and as life was going on, when I was going to the United States with 26 years, it was um, it was kind of strange because 26 years I joined that company as a project manager responsible for this particular product line that I was representing. I was still working for this German machine tool company, and all my colleagues that were responsible for their product lines, we had, or this company I was working for was representing like 5, 6 German companies, but they all were in their early 50s even. And
Yeah.
they were actually considering me as kind of I'm a youngster, a rookie.
Yeah.
Uh, but still, I mean, it depends on success.
Yeah.
Success is what makes people to accept you. And then they don't even think about the age anymore. It is the same with your customers. When I was going to see customers first, well, I could actually read it in their face. They say, "Oh gosh, this company in Germany, I mean, world famous, world market leader, and they're sending us this kit here.
Yeah.
This can't believe it. But they changed their mind latest about 1 or 2 hours later when I did my presentation and when I got my first questions and I could answer all these questions and I could convince them that I had the best product on the market. And so I really enjoyed that. Well, it was actually each time it was kind of a challenge, but the more successful I became, the more I enjoyed that. And so I didn't really think what's going to be in 20 years because I was enjoying life. Life was good, life was great, and I felt like a king. So you become older, you take um different jobs, you get more responsibility, you get a lot of responsibility when you are responsible for a complete company, not just for I'm an engineer. My profession is an engineer, but now I was
Yeah.
responsible for a complete company that included manufacturing and that included finance and HR and this and that and design and this and that and what have you. So it was always you had to prove yourself to the other people almost every day, because there are always some guys that try to create that little trap for you that you
Yeah.
step into. But so you have to watch it all the time. And well, in Germany they have this old saying, when you are working in a company and you want to make a career, you know, um, 1/3 of your time you have to spend on your professional job. You have to do a good job so
Yeah.
people accept you. 1/3 is you have to fight intrigues
Yeah.
so no one can really touch you. And 1/3 you have to create intrigues. So
Yeah.
I mean, I never believed in that. I always played with open cards, and if I didn't like something, I just had a meeting with the guy or the lady or whatever, and we sorted that out. So, um, and that was actually the golden age, between 30 and 50.
Yeah.
And it was also the time when I was successful as a um, uh, CEO
Yeah.
at that big company. Then I left this company, and I was for short term. I was actually saving a small family business with about 100 people. Um, well, which I shouldn't have done. I mean, never work for small family-owned companies. That's just a disaster because sooner or later, when they are in deep shit, they're gonna ask for help, and you are the savior, and you are the best and the greatest, and they
Yeah.
pay you all the money you want. The minute they are on safe ground again, they get these crazy ideas,
Yeah.
and they play with that ownership card. They say I
Yeah.
can do in my company whatever I want. And then it's the time when you have to leave. So, and I left that company at that stage, and I started my own business. And at that time I was 44 years old, and started that own business. I felt so much power inside myself. It was just the right time, and there was nothing in this world that could take me away from that idea. So, and that company, it had a. I mean, it was a lot of work, but it had a great start. And after 2, 3 years, it was really extremely successful. This is not very common that a company after 2 years has paid all the debts and was making real good money. And after like 6 years, our turnover was more than 10 million euros, or almost 12 million euros, with a earnings of 10% per year. Everything was just going fantastic. I had my young family. You were born, and
Yeah.
and you gave me additional energy whenever I got
Yeah.
home, and we did that football in your room.
Yeah.
Well, it was kind of exhausting, I must admit, but it was still something that gave me a lot of energy. And your mom, beautiful young lady, um, it was just great. So um, and I didn't really think about getting older because everything was just perfect. You were healthy and wealthy. Well, I
Yeah.
mean, you made money and you could
Yeah.
buy the car that you always wanted. You could build the house that you always wanted, and your family was happy, and you could afford to go on vacation, to go to whatever, Singapore or Bangkok.
Yeah.
So still didn't think about getting older. And but this is something that I should have done because I should have made a couple of decisions because additional health insurance. I have a standard health insurance, which is in Germany already pretty good, because it
Yeah.
pays for basically everything, but not as a high standard. If you get into the hospital and you wanted to have a separate room, a single room with
Yeah. Yeah, you need to pay
special
yourself.
comfort, you have to pay yourself in Germany. And if you have that additional insurance, um, they pay for. Well, it's not
Yeah.
that cheap, but they pay for all that.
Yeah.
Also, when you go to the dentist, I mean, the basic treatment your insurance pays, but if you need some replacement and some special treatment,
Yeah.
it's kind of limited what your health insurance pays for that. But there is additional insurance available that you have to buy, and this is something. This is probably something that I should have done at an age where I was feeling healthy and
Yeah.
great, and but you don't think
Yeah.
about that, you know.
Yeah.
So anyway, then I mean, becoming older, becoming 50, 51, 52, you start thinking about, wow, the next um, the next decade will be 60.
Yeah.
60. Wow, 60. And then you start thinking, 60 is it was the first time, and when I became 60, I must say, um it was I was well I haven't been depressed, but I was, well, no, well, I've never been depressed in my whole life,
Yeah.
but I was thinking about, uh, wow, 60,
60, yeah.
this is how much is left,
Yeah.
and then this friend of mine, he came to my house and he said, well, take uh, a ruler, along or a tape, band tape, take like the average age of a man in Germany, and it's
Yeah.
about 78 or 80,
Yeah.
and take that and put it vertical and cut off the years that you have been on this world already, cut
Yeah.
off this 60, and
Yeah.
when you look at this little something that's left, you start uh, thinking, and you start thinking about what's important in life.
Yeah.
And I must say, um, money became, the older I got, money became less important,
Yeah.
or had less importance in my life, because, well, it might have something to do with, um, I have made enough money in my life that I couldn't starve, So, and I could
Yeah.
feed my family, and I could buy the gasoline for my car, so it's and pay for insurance and all that. So, um, I was on safe ground. But there are some people in this world, they want to make even more money, and millions, and the third, fourth, fifth million, and they're
Yeah.
kind of happy with that. But at that age, um, other things became more important. One thing, the most important thing was, I have to spend more time with my family, because before that I was I was whenever there was the need in the company to see a customer in, I don't know, South Africa, United States, in Indonesia or Singapore. I was the first guy that was jumping in an airplane and was going there.
Yeah.
Um, but then you start at that age. You start to delegate. You start looking for people that can take over, young ambitious people that have the know-how and that you have to put in charge. And soon I found out that this life is not really that uncomfortable. because you can still concentrate on the company, because I mean it's your company. You have to see the whole, not just the one order that you can get. But getting these breaks, when you send one guy to, I don't know, Singapore to do a presentation, or to go to an international show that we were also attending, it gives you spare time. It gives you free
Yeah.
time that you can spend with your family, that you can enjoy things in life that you have kind of missed before. I mean, I like to eat, but not just, I mean, volume.
Yeah, not to
I
survive, but to enjoy it.
no, right. I like to enjoy good
Yeah.
food, good
Yeah.
food, whether it's just a steak or fish and this and that, or what have you. I really enjoy food, and I enjoyed really taking my family out to have dinner with, or more out. We had that before, of course,
Sure.
but the frequency was now more often. Or go to dinner with friends, go to have a nice dinner with friends, have a nice chat, and you see, these moments in life are really priceless. There are
Yeah.
things that you enjoy, that you cannot really buy. Uh,
Yeah.
do you remember when I got that call from our good friend Harald, and he said, "Well, we have just the right car for you."
Yeah,
And
sure.
before that, we have been in his little workshop. Well, it's not that small, in his
Yeah.
workshop. I must say, for the people that are listening to us, this guy Harald is just a great person. He has been living in the United States for many many years, and at that time in the United States was um, finding old Porsche cars and um, calling people from Germany that were looking for these cars, and he was actually getting a commission on that.
Yeah.
And well, I make a long story short now. And when he returned to Germany, he started this business. He bought this workshop, and he started to refurbish these old Porsche cars. And quality wise, it's just excellent, really great. And I was always interested in this Porsche 993.
Yeah.
And until you talked me into, well, it's much better to buy
Yeah.
a Porsche 964, because
Yeah.
the 964 has a history. The 964 is just a very special car, because it was for Porsche. It was a breakthrough. Before that, I mean, Porsche was at the edge. They had this G model, and which was kind of outdated. No power steering,
Yeah.
no assistance at all, And then they came out with this 964, and they filled that car with a lot of very special features. Well, at that time, these features, they have been standard with Mercedes and BMW already. And now Porsche came up with this beautiful 964 and all these great features. And Harald called me and he said, "Well, I have just the car you are looking for." And remember, you and I, we went to his
Yeah.
place to see this car, which was at that time completely disassembled,
Yeah.
laying there. It
Yeah.
was it was kind of a very lucky strike that he did. He found this car in Cologne in an old factory, um, and the car was uh, at that time about I think 26 years old, and it was for more than 20 years. It was just sitting there, covered with an old plastic cover,
Yeah.
So not running had only 10,000 miles. And well, I mean, it looked like terrible, completely dirty. And because when something was sitting there for 20 years in an old factory, I mean, it's of course it doesn't look like new.
Yeah.
Um, and we looked at that car, and I think we both immediately fell in love with that car.
Yeah,
But
even in that
you
state,
see,
yeah.
yeah, well, even at that stage, exactly. And then we talked to Harald, and he sold this, well, this uh, car. Well, it
Yeah.
wasn't really a car at that time,
Yeah.
but he sold that to us at, from today's point of view, it was a very fair price. And he took about, I don't know, 5 months, 4 or 5 months to reassemble the car. I mean, check every single part, replace what was necessary, and I mean, not mechanical parts because the car had only 10,000 miles, but a lot of these
Yeah.
rubber items, bearings and sealings and whatever. So, um, and when the car was ready and he started it up the first time,
Yeah.
it was just. I mean, these are moments. I mean, something like this happens probably to people like us once in a lifetime.
Yeah.
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 And when he started this engine, this sound, I never forget that sound. It was
Yeah.
just great. And but these are moments again that you can not really buy with money, or you need really a ton load of money, But people like us, it's just a great moment. And then we got the car on the street, and I still remember that the following months you were more driving the car than me,
Yeah. Yeah.
and and we really enjoyed that. It was just an addition to our life because we both like
Yeah.
this car. And driving kind of an old car like this, well, old new car because it was in new condition,
Yeah.
but it
Perfect
was
shape. Yeah.
an old car uh, at an age where cars in Germany are called old timers.
Yeah.
And when you drive a car like this, at least me, at the age of 65, 66, it's like, I mean, becoming young again.
Yeah.
Because, well, I mean, this car was built, imagine, this car was built um, at the time, roughly at the time when I was starting the company, when I was starting my company.
Yeah.
And I always was dreaming to have a car like that. And now I got it. And I could afford it because I sold my company at a very attractive price. And I had this. I could afford to buy this beautiful car. So, uh, what I want to tell you is, at that age, you think more about quality,
Yeah.
and when you buy things, you think about what do they add to your life. And uh, because I mean, for that money we paid for that car, we we could have bought a Mercedes Benz, brand new
Sure.
one, and but Mercedes Benz, what is a Mercedes Benz or BMW, a brand new one? I mean, they all more and more look the same anyway. They handle the same. They have all these assistants. In a few years, you don't even need a driver anymore. You just
Yeah.
jump in the back seat and tell the car where to go. Um, but this car, you really have to work. It has a stick
Yeah.
shift.
Yeah.
Five gear, a 5-step gearbox, and it's just beautiful. And also, when you when you at that time when we went on vacation, I still remember at that time we started to travel to Madeira quite often,
Yeah.
and we stayed at this Savoy hotel,
Yeah.
which was just, I mean, was brand new, was just built, and just the rooms, the brand new rooms, quality wise, great and big rooms, and with all the service that you got. I mean, this is quality life,
Yeah.
and this is what what was important for me at that time. And I didn't really, well, let's put it that way. Um, the way you think about lifetime is not how old I can get. You think more like, um, I mean, you are not thinking in years to come. You are thinking in days and weeks. What's
Yeah.
up tomorrow? What can we do tomorrow? Day after tomorrow? I saw a nice, I saw a nice documentation about a young lady yesterday on television, and um, 3 years ago she has been diagnosed um, to have or diagnosed to have cancer, breast cancer, and it was not curable.
Yeah.
And her hobby is running. And I was thinking
Yeah.
about you,
Well, yeah.
running. And she just did the Berlin Marathon.
Damn.
And or in that documentation, she just did the Berlin Marathon. And the reporter, he asked her the question. I mean, but I mean, you have this this I mean, illness, this sickness. You have cancer, and it's not curable. And I mean, why are you running? You are wasting your time. And she said, no, this is for me. This is quality lifetime. This is what I want to do, and and I only want to do the things that I want to do. And
Yeah.
I don't think in years anymore. I don't think in months. I'm looking forward to tomorrow, and I enjoy every single day that I on this world, in this world. And she said, um, a week ago, before prior to this interview, she went to her doctors, and the doctors were kind of amazed because they could not identify any um, um, metastasis
Yeah.
anymore. They were completely gone.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
apparently her immune system has
Yeah.
worked against the cancer. Uh, by the way, I think the immune system of a human body is stronger than all the medication that you can
Oh
get.
yeah, definitely.
So, so
Definitely. I've also
um,
I've read a lot of books about this. It's amazing what the human body can do on its own
yeah,
next to
yeah,
the medication
really,
that you
it's
get.
amazing. So,
And having a
so,
quality life is a big part of it.
so her doctors, their goal was now to cure
Yeah.
her and to make her completely cancer free. And even the doctor said a big part of this is that she thinks so positive, that
Yeah,
she
exactly.
enjoys
Yeah.
life. And she said, whenever I do the running, of course, for the body, it costs her a lot of energy. But still, for her, it is very positive input, and she enjoys that. And so she is looking forward. And it was a documentation that was great. It gave me a lot of additional power, because I am thinking exactly the same way. I'm not really thinking in, well, what's going to happen in 10 years? What can I build another house?
Yeah.
That well,
Yeah.
it takes in Germany. You know how long it takes to
Yeah,
build
yeah.
a house.
It's
It
crazy.
takes forever. And when the house is done, I don't need a house anymore.
Yeah.
So well, that's the way it is here. So I at that age now. at 71, you are looking to the next day, or you are thinking in a week or weeks. I
Yeah,
mean, I'm looking forward in 5 weeks. We're going to see you in Dublin. Of
exactly.
course, this is something that I'm really looking forward to. But I'm not thinking in what's going to be in 26. What am I going to do? Where am I going to go on vacation? And no, this long term thinking has been cut out. So for me, it's important. What am I going to do next week? There are a couple of things. I I have started something to reorganize myself. Um, uh, well, there was a time I was pretty good at remembering all the things that I have to do, and I didn't forget anything,
Yeah,
on the hour. But I started now to create a to-do list,
yeah,
and I am wondering how much stuff is on that to-do list.
yeah.
It
Well,
is unbelievable. It is unbelievable. It's right now I am in the selling process um, to sell one of our pieces of land, and in Germany this is I mean it's
yeah. The bureaucracy. Yeah, it's crazy.
the bureaucracy in Germany. It's just terrible, uh, because I mean the same piece of land, but it makes a difference if you put a cow on it
Yes.
or if you put a house on it.
Yeah.
It makes like a 200,000 euro difference.
Yeah. Yeah.
And when you ask these people why,
Yeah.
they say, well, because a cow is different than a house,
Yeah.
but they cannot really explain you. They refer to some paragraphs and so um, anyway, it's very time consuming. Now we have this one customer that wants to buy the house, but he has to check his financial situation. He has to talk to the bank, and the bank is he needs information from me,
Yeah.
and then they have to talk about the city of Wegberg because they need a permission to build a house, and so it is a lot of bureaucracy, a lot of work that you actually have to do, and now we have 3 4 parties that want to buy that second piece of land, and the whole crap starts again.
Yeah.
And so it's really, really amazing. I mean, you see, you can only build a house on that land when you have the power lines from the street connected to the piece of land. And there are only special companies with a certificate, with a license to do that.
Yeah.
So the company that I am talking to that also have done that for the other houses that we have, that guy that is in charge, he drives me nuts. He he says, "Oh, I mean, the guys I have right now, they are sick, and 3 calls of the sick, and I don't know how to manage the situation now, and I am going on vacation tomorrow,
Yeah. Of course.
for
Of
so
course.
so
Yeah.
I mean, oh, it drives me wild, I tell you.
Yeah.
So he said, "Call me please the 30th of September." The 30th of September. Well, I hope that at that
Well.
time I gonna be I gonna be in a good mood and I'm
Yeah.
in a condition to talk to him. And he said, "Well, the earliest we can start with this work will be probably November, December. But I need to have that." Well, it's not that much work. It takes for 3 guys about, well, less than a week. But I need to have that done before these people that buy the land get permission to build a house.
Yeah.
And without that permission to build a house, they don't buy the land. So
Sure.
I mean, we are turning in circles right now. It's just crazy. But that's Germany. I mean, there are a lot of
Yeah.
other
Yeah.
positive
Literally.
things in Germany, but this is really, it drives me nuts. But anyway, this is just the way it is. And the older you get, the more difficult it is to handle these things. And
Yeah.
okay, you intend to be more calm, and you are wise, and you're gonna manage that somehow. But inside yourself, that anger is growing. And I'm
Yeah.
afraid that one of these days I go there with a shotgun and I'm
Yeah.
gonna kill that guy.
Yeah.
Anyway, so as you can see, life is not boring, even at my age.
There you go. That's
And
perfect.
it is. So, um, well, the essence of our uh, podcast today and the answer to your question is the older you get, or when you get to a certain stage, the time span that you're going to think of that's in front of you, it's going to become smaller and smaller. When you are
Yeah.
young, you don't even think about getting older at all. You want to get older, of course, to get driver license and this and that, what have you, to make progress. And this golden age in the middle, 30 to 50,
Yeah.
is pure power. It's pure power. You
Yeah.
can do things that it's unbelievable. Well, because you have your education, you have a lot of know-how built up, you have a good reputation, and these are all tools that you can use if you want to. If you don't end up in a comfort zone.
Yeah.
If you want to, you can take the world apart. It's amazing. And then after this golden age, when you get direction 60, um, you get that strange feeling in
Yeah.
your neck, you know? And so you start thinking about, whoa, 60, how much is left now? Because at that time, a lot of your colleagues, friends, customers that they are not there anymore.
Yeah.
They died, and so you reconsider your life, and you set new priorities. And first priority is not money anymore. I mean, making money, being successful and making money. That was the same thing for
Yeah.
me.
Yeah.
Being successful and making good money. It has been always a top priority item. But at that age, at 60, it's removed from that list, from the top. At that time, you think about more about quality life, about what can you do with the time that you have, how can you enjoy life. And as I said before, you put more money or you spend more money with your family. You look at things different. The cars that you buy are different. The
Yeah.
the um, vacations that you do are different, and the food that you eat is even different, because it's you look more after. I mean, when you eat a steak, it's not just a steak anymore. You say, well, is it a black Angus, or is it this,
Yeah.
is it that? Well, you enjoy that, and you enjoy quality. And that is the stage that I'm still in, and I am enjoying life. Yeah, I am really enjoying life, and I hope that there is still something in it. Uh, um, and the next thing I'm looking forward to is our visit
To
to
Dublin.
you
Yeah.
next month. That would that will be fun, And after that,
Oh, for sure.
I intend early next year. I intend with your mom to do a real nice vacation. I mean, not going to Madeira anymore. That is, well, we can do that also for a week or so, but something bigger, something going
Yeah.
to, I don't know what, Bangkok, or going
Nice.
to Tenerife or whatever.
Yeah.
So different. What I would like to
Yeah.
do is spending 2 weeks in South Africa,
Oh, yeah.
going
Beautiful.
to Cape Town, beautiful city. I have been there a few times. It's just beautiful. Or flying to Rio de Janeiro at the time when they
Yeah.
have this carnival.
Yeah,
It's
I was
so
gonna say, yeah, you should go to
it's
Brazil
just
again.
great. It's so great, and I speak the language, and
Yeah,
I'm probably get along very well, even though going into town and going to see the carnival, I would probably do that on a tour basis, with a guide to
yeah,
be on the safe ground. And so quality at my age now, quality is the key issue.
yeah.
So, and I mean, you are at the beginning. For you, it's
Yeah, really, I'm starting
uh,
out.
for you it's important to build up a career.
Yeah,
And but I mean, at your age, that is fun. This is great. This is so much. All these challenges that you have, all the phone calls you make to customers, and thinking of, well, how can I offer something that makes him place an order, and
yeah, yeah,
it's well, it is very. I have been there, and I really enjoyed it. But once in a while, think about yourself and
yeah,
treat yourself. Even what I tell you, an old habit that I had is when I got a big order in my younger days as a young salesman or sales director. At night, I went with my distributor, and we had a great dinner.
yeah,
And when we lost an order, for a reason that I could somehow even understand, because price, we couldn't just beat that price,
yeah,
or the competition had one feature that we just don't have and could not be integrated into our machines. Um, if we lost an order on that basis, I also went out and had a great dinner, but with a bottle of champagne.
yeah. That's great.
Just to make it, well, it's important. It's
Yeah,
important. This I mean, thinking about, oh shit, we lost this order, and well, I hope next. If you get into this kind of thinking, it drags you down. It drags
yeah,
you down. You have to enjoy what you're doing. You have to enjoy life, and once in a while, you have to think about yourself. What I always did in my life as a professional, um, whenever I was on a business trip, I always spent my expenses on a good dinner, and even more. I
yeah,
always tried to find a good restaurant.
yeah,
I was actually hunting these good restaurants, and I really enjoyed that because it gave me so much energy for the next day. And you see, this is something that you also should think of. That doesn't mean that you should go out every night and spend all your money on food. This
yeah.
is
Sure.
this is this is not the message. But once in a while, to think about yourself, to treat yourself. This is also very, very important.
Yeah,
All right. Well, son, I hope I have been answering your
definitely,
questions, or I have
definitely.
answered your question. It's, well, the questions that you ask are not that easy. It's not like 5 and 5 is 10.
Exactly.
It's you have, because it's these are not general questions that you ask. Your questions are personal questions,
Yes, of
and
course.
and you have to really open this big cabinet in your brain and see what's in this hidden in this drawers. And what I appreciate about this podcast is that it also makes me think. It makes
Yeah,
me think about, well, this time about the good old days,
yeah,
the time that I have spent as a young engineer, as a young businessman. But it also makes me think about, what am I going to do tomorrow?
yeah,
So this is great. And well, only thing I can tell you is enjoy life. And tonight, have a good dinner, have some good food,
I will.
and have fun when you do the cutting on this podcast, because
Oh
I
yeah.
know sometimes it's not that easy, and
Oh well, it's okay.
to make to make what I'm telling you to make kind of sense, you
Oh
know.
well, honestly, today I think it's actually pretty easy. That was
Is
very
that right? Hey,
very
that's
coherent.
great.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
appreciate
Today it's gonna be easy. Yeah.
appreciate that. Okay. All right, son. Take care. All the best,
And
and
you.
see you next week.
Exactly.
All right. Bye bye.
Bye. See you. Thank you everyone for listening to this episode. If you're interested in what my dad has to share next time, then make sure to tune in again next week. And if you have any questions that you want my dad to answer, then please feel free to send them to us. Hope to see you next week. Bye bye.